So today's lesson is about the circle of fifths and fourths. The circle of fifths is a very important tool for musicians. We can use it to find many things, such as the order of sharps and flats, our key signatures, if we're learning those. We can find chord progressions. They're great for guitarists who need to know things like their 1/4s and 5s or their 2/5s, 1s progressions. So the circle of fifths and fourths starts with C in the middle. It's very much like a clock. There are 12 spots to put notes. So first of all, we need to say what a fifth and a fourth is. A fifth, what we call a perfect fifth, there's different kinds of fifths, but a perfect fifth is 7 half steps in the chromatic scale, which we've already studied. The 7 half steps. So if I start on C, and I go to C sharp D, D sharp E, F, F sharp G, I got 7 half steps. C to G then is what we call a perfect fifth. A perfect fourth equals 5 half steps. So if I'm going from C, C sharp D, D sharp E, F, that's 5 half steps, and that gets me from C to F, which is a perfect fourth. Now, if you go clockwise in the circle, you're doing the circle of fifths. If you go backwards the other way, it's the circle of fourths, because all the notes will be in fourths. By the time you go all the way around, you end up at the same note that you started on. And that's part of the marvel of the circle of fifths. Okay, so let's clear this off. We're going to start with C right in the middle. C is neutral territory. We've got no sharps and no flats in the key of C, so we'll put it in a little box. Now this side, I'll do in green. This is going to be the sharp side. And when we go on the sharp side, we have 7 letters that we can use because there are 7 notes in the musical alphabet. So if we start on C, the next note, as I counted, would be G. Now if I go from G up 7 half steps, G, G sharp A sharp B, C, C sharp D, and I get to D. So if I'm getting to D, there's a perfect fifth again at 2 o'clock. Now I won't count them all out for you. You can if you like. From D, I go to A at 3 o'clock. I go to E, then to B at 5 o'clock. And now from B to the next note, it's not just a letter, it's actually to a sharp. B to F sharp is 7 half steps, not B to F. You got to be careful there. So F sharp, if I go up one more, it will actually be C sharp and not C. Of all the notes on the sharp side, I just did this in blue, didn't I? Let's make it consistent. Of all the notes on the sharp side, only 2 of them have sharp in their title. You got to be aware of that. The C sharp and F sharp, all the rest have sharps in those keys, if we're talking about keys, but they don't show in the name of the key. Okay, going around the other way on the flat side. When we're talking about flats, we're going backwards. We're going to be doing the order of, or the circle of fourths. So the first one is F, as I counted out earlier. You can count it out again if you like to. And then we go backwards to B flat. B flat is a perfect fourth above F. At 9 o'clock, we've got E flat. You'll notice we're running out of clock slots. The next one is going to be A flat. And we've now covered all 12 positions of a clock with notes. But we've still got some more to do because we've got 7 flat keys that we can put in here. And so what are we going to do? We're going to have to double up. What is another name for C sharp? D flat. Very good. So here is the D flat C sharp at the same place. We call these, when the notes are the same but different, we call them enharmonic equivalents, enharmonic equivalents. So it's kind of the same note, but it's not necessarily. On the piano, you'll find it in the same position. On the guitar, you'll find it in the same position. In singing, these two notes might sound different depending on what your tonic note is. But that's a different lesson. Okay. The next enharmonic equivalent that we have is G flat, which is a perfect fourth above D flat. And the last one then would be C flat. You'll notice that when we're on C, we can come all the way around to C sharp, and if we come all the way around this way, we end up on C flat. Your goal is to memorize the circle of fifths, write it out as many times as it takes for you to do it. Thank you very much. This has been the circle of fifths and fourths.